I'm Valerie Bell, Valerie Bell, Valerie Bell, Valerie Bell, Valerie Bell, Spectrum News 1.
Yes, that's me. I'm Valerie Bell, and I'm a multimedia journalist. The state already has a mandatory leash law. They can show firefighters even just the slightest change in temperatures.
If you get a rip in your bag like this, you have trash everywhere.
I will do anything.
They put on these suits, they put on these harnesses.
Or go anywhere.
I'm warmer in here than I was out there.
To tell a good story.
He said to me, I'm not going to hurt you, but don't move.
I cry almost every day. I'm in tears.
But I'm not just in front of the camera. I capture it all behind the lens too.
I think I have the best job in the whole world.
On air and online.
I just wanted to give everyone an update. It's no secret that it's snowing out. Look who I spotted! It's Santa Claus!
I'll be the first one to the scene of breaking news.
You can take a look behind me right here. 11-year-old Aiden Blanchard is still missing.
Do the research.
They make up 14.8% of the community.
And ask the questions.
How do you plan to tackle that? Well, what's it like to, give back?
Can we expect to see a vaccine anytime soon?
When the world shifted during the pandemic, I continued to earn the viewers' trust.
A lot of things look different this year. They declared a state of emergency.
Covering the stories that changed the world.
You can see protesters all around.
If you see something, you gotta say something.
88 residents and 78 employees have tested positive for the coronavirus.
He has battled for his life.
But it's not always bad news.
I've never felt so happy in my life.
1, 2, 3.
During my experience as a multimedia journalist, I helped launch a completely new bureau for a 24-hour news network, telling stories around the clock that gained national attention when they aired all across the country.
It proves that the Amber Alert is serious and is necessary and is effective.
My passion is being out in the field, telling stories in my community that matter the most. And here's just a few of them.
The mother of a student here at DuPont Middle School is speaking out after she says her 8th grader felt uncomfortable doing a virtual assignment for her social studies class.
Close only counts in horseshoes, not immigration.
There are some situations where, the children feel like it's legitimate for them to want to seek refuge here in the U.S., and the game doesn't allow that.
Immigration Nation is an interactive game meant to teach students about paths to American citizenship.
I live in Canada and I fell in love with an American while playing an online video game.
It asked them to answer questions about the process of coming to the U.S.
Some of them I wasn't really sure what to do, and it made me feel really uncomfortable to get it wrong.
In the game, a traveler with forged documents gets called an Americanophile and a wannabe. Gabriella Alicia says these are just a few examples of terms she feels are degrading, especially to the area's large immigrant community.
It's a slap to the face to them, it's taking this game, making it sort of normal, or teaching the kids that this process is so easy when it's very, very complex.
Alicia works as a translator. While she says she thinks immigration is important to teach in schools, she says it needs to be done in a more sensitive way.
You don't have children coming into school and telling their friends that their parents are illegal or they're in the process of becoming a citizen. These are things that are not talked about. So how those children might feel playing a game like this.
Superintendent Lynn Clark says once the school became aware of the concerns, the instructional staff spent 30 minutes going through the game. She adds the program was founded by iCivics, which is a DESE recommended resource.
I think it's a sensitive subject for some people. The instructional staff that went through it, there's 3 of them, they did not see anything of concern.
The principal at DuPont temporarily suspended the game until they gathered more information. The city's Department of Instruction says it's okay to use, but the school is still looking into the concerns.
I will say since then, we will reach out to other districts to see if they are also see concerns.
And we have reached out to iCivics about the Immigration Nation program and have not yet heard anything back. Reporting in Chicopee, I'm Valerie Bell for Spectrum News 1.
Oh my God, these are angels. These are angels.
Claire Caravo calls this group of people a major blessing. They spent a few hours cleaning up her yard, which was overgrown. Claire's been unable to keep up with the work because she takes care of her husband, who is in a wheelchair and dealing with serious medical issues.
This is so wonderful. I can't believe it. These people would do that and they didn't even know us.
Paul Park's group, Love, Peace, and Kielbasa Grease, heard the couple needed help and organized this effort.
I found in being in the community that there was a lot of people who wanted to volunteer and help their fellow Chicopee. That's what we're trying to do at Love, Peace, and Kielbasa Grease is find unity and kindness, and I find it's extremely contagious.
And although it was a last-minute call to help, strangers quickly became Claire's new friends.
It's great to put those two people together, the person that wants to help out and the person who needs help.
There should be a few more like this. It's just fabulous. Thank you so much.
In Chicopee, Valerie Bell, Spectrum, News 1.
It always served as a reminder in my office for all these years.
30 years ago, Joseph LaValle received this honorary fire helmet.
I returned this today because I'm retired. I'm feeling good. I know the end of the rest of the story, and it had a good story.
It's a story he'll never forget.
He absolutely saved my life.
December 31st, 1992 is the day LaValle first met Laura Ebeling. She, her father, and 2 other children were on their way to go skiing when they were involved in a 10-vehicle crash on I-91 in Holyoke.
And we saw a trailer truck stop and a lot of smoke coming up, and then we started seeing a car on fire and another car under the truck on fire, and so we got out of the car, put our flashers on.
LaValle, a father himself, knew he had to help.
And there was some little kids with their hands banging on the window, and their clothes were burning, some of their hair was burning.
Before emergency responders arrived, he pulled all 3 kids and the driver out of the burning car.
You never have any training, but you know what you don't understand, you never know when you're going to be called on to do something.
22 people went to the hospital that day, including LaValle. The children survived, but Ebeling's father would later die from his injuries.
As tough as it was to have him in the ICU, we at least had him for a month, and my mom could say goodbye.
Days after the crash, LaValle and his wife returned to the hospital to see how everyone was doing.
She kept telling her teachers that went to the hospital, I really want to become a doctor.
The trauma surgeon who took care of me had kind of sat me down and said he had an experience young in his life that led him to go into medicine, and that kind of put it in my head as I was going to turn something bad into something good.
And about 5 years ago,
This is a picture of the family, and that was her and the other 2 boys.
LaValle started wondering about the 8-year-old girl with big dreams.
And I found there was this one woman that became a doctor with her name. And through a friend, through social media, we have a friend in Thailand, and I was able to find out he went to school with her.
It's amazing that we were able to kind of find each other again.
Ebeling did exactly what she said she would do. She's an emergency medicine physician working on the front lines during the pandemic.
It's crazy kind of looking back and thinking about everything that kind of led me there.
And in 2018, when she got married, LaValle and his wife were there.
So the wedding, the wedding was, like I said, it was quite large, but my husband and I were very focused on, we wanted to have a good time. We didn't want to have a million speeches.
But they made just one exception.
The DJ comes over and goes, "Hey, this guy wants to give a speech. Is it okay if this guy gives a speech? He says that, you'd probably be okay with it." And I looked, and it was Joe, and I was like, he can do whatever he wants. And he saved my life. He can do whatever he wants.
Along with the heartwarming toast, LaValle gave her a special gift.
On our wedding day, he had collected all the articles and cards and things that he had received, and awards and stuff that he had received after that, and gave it to me and my husband, which was, I thought, just so selfless.
And although Ebeling and LaValle don't talk too often, they will forever share a bond.
When you see you have a chance to help other people, we all have it in us. Everybody has it in us to help. You just got to say, it's my moment, it's a chance, somebody can save a life, let's do this.
In Chicopee,
maybe the fire department can use this towards somebody else someday that steps up to the plate.
Valerie Bell,
because there's a lot of those people.
Spectrum, News 1.